last minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. I better. I'm going to run into this problem where I'm playing YouTube on my phone and then it comes back to the microphone and then I freak out and think there's some sort of technical issue. I've learned my lesson many times in the past. In fact, I was a guest on the Segment podcast once, and I made that mistake. I had the live stream open up in a window so that I could monitor it before going live, and I forgot to close that window, and it was basically like Calirado Kid Inception, which, to be completely clear, like, I don't mind hearing myself again. Like, so as I talk, if I come back to myself, it's a great conversation. In fact, the fact that I make a lot of these videos where I'm talking to myself is indicative of that. Like, it's kind of the same thing, right? I'm just having conversations with myself. So it's kind of like listening to the voices in my head. That's kind of where we're at. Look, what can I say here? Like, the point I'm trying to make here is holy last minute live stream, Batman. Here we are. And I kind of didn't plan for this, but I kind of did. Really, I just needed to dust off the machinery and make sure everything still worked and tell a few stories in the process. That's kind of where we're at on tonight's live stream, because it is a Friday night. Who the hell knows what's going on out in the world right now? You guys are out partying. It's pre-Halloween, so, you know, younger people are probably out doing Halloween parties. I'm too old for that, so I'm not doing that. Instead, I'm here editing and doing other stuff, and I thought I'd jump in and say hi to everybody and say that we've got our winter season coming upon us, which means it may be time to break out the fireside chat and get back into action when it comes to doing live streams. I miss doing live streams, and I see guys like Mark and my buddy Robert and stuff doing live streams, and I get jealous. And, of course, I've got the greatest mug in the business. There it is. Yep, the greatest mustaches all on one mug. What can you say? Ken, good to see you. Milo, is it Milo or Milo? I could be pronouncing that wrong, but Milo says, hey, your vids helped me start mountain biking. Thanks for the help, man. It helped me get over my depression. Sincerely, I thank you. I appreciate you jumping in, man. It's it's a funny thing, telling bad jokes on the internet and finding out that they resonate with people. It's been so cool. And I'm stoked, man. I'm stoked that you're in it. To me, mountain biking is the best thing on the planet. Like, for me, mountain biking changed everything. Like, getting back into mountain biking reopened the outdoors for me, got me back into adventure. And so I'm stoked that I can share it with people. And I think sometimes that's an unintended consequence of what we do here. And so, the grind sometimes gets to you, and you forget that when you put those things out into the wild, that like people enjoy them. I tend to forget that because, you just get into this process of like, make a video, come up with a new concept, make another video. And you just get in this routine of like constantly producing to where you're numb. Like back in the day when I used to release a video, it was like a big deal. Like I would put a ton of work in, be like, I'd sit there in the morning, be like, here it goes, boom. And you'd send that video out to YouTube. And then like 3 people would watch it, like, so you would there's so much importance placed on it. And it's definitely detrimental on your psyche. With the short form stuff, we're certainly putting out more regularity with videos. Like there's more videos coming out on the regular, right? But I've started diving back into the YouTube game, haven't I? Like I did 2 videos this week and a live stream. What the hell is going on, you may ask? I just felt like it. You know what I mean? One of the cool things is, side note, in terms of announcements, Ken says he's got to go to bed in the morning. Well, thanks for stopping in, Ken. One of the cool things that's happened recently is we got locked down with an Insta360's partnership, which is cool. I've always been a GoPro guy my whole life, and so I finally got my hands on the Insta360 stuff, which I had never really played with. I got a chance to play with the X4 when I was up at North Star doing some downhill, so I figured out how to mount that to the full-face helmet. It shoots the whole 360 degrees, and I haven't even edited any of that footage yet because I didn't know what I was going to do with it. But then they had the Ace Pro 2 launch this week, and so I shot a bunch of stuff with the Ace Pro 2. And the funny thing is, like, being a tech guy, I was telling people, like, that's one of the things that I actually am well-versed in. When it comes to, like, mountain bike stuff, I'm technically knowledgeable, but I actually know a lot about camera stuff because I've been working with camera gear for a long time. And it's kind of like the tech side has always been something I obsess over, whether it's like broadcast equipment or how to pull off a live stream. Like I'm always thinking about tech. So for me, like doing a video about the tech of the new camera was kind of natural. Like I was like, all right, the only other thing I could make is like a video game video, and I would do really well at that. It turns out, like, I growing up, I missed the train here because growing up, we all played games, right? We were all nerds, and now video games is such a massive part of culture. And man, realistically, if I would have gotten into video game content creation, maybe I'd be crushing it right now. This is a bigger audience. But one of the things I like about making mountain bike content is that it drives you outside. Like the content I make I'm outdoors doing it, and I appreciate that. Like if I was making gaming content, I'd be stuck inside this studio all the time. Never, I like that mountain biking takes me on adventures, and I'm happy that that's where my content creation career has landed me thus far, is out on adventures, doing crazy stuff. I dig it. I think it's, I think I made a good decision. Would you guys agree? Jack, wait a minute, hold on. Jacker UMTB. Jackaroo? Oh, see, it only took me a second to figure that out. Are you in Australia? Jackaroo. MTB says, hey, I'm a really big fan, and you were one of the first people I watched when I got an MTB. Awesome. Glad that popped into your algorithm for better or worse. Yeah, I was saying, like, holy last minute live stream, Batman. I haven't done a live stream in months, and I wanted to jump in and dust off the gear tonight and see how everything was holding up. Make sure that I just didn't lose my live stream chops. You know what I mean? Coming in, no preparation. Let's get in here. Let's tell stories. Let's talk about some few things that are going on. And I won't hold you hostage too long tonight, because pretty soon I got to start playing around with the multi-camera setups again. It's getting dark early, as you can see. So maybe we're talking fireside chat stuff. We're going to see how it plays out. The only downside with doing fireside chats is you got to have a guest local. And to me, that's the funnest thing. Like it's one thing to have a guest virtual. It's another thing to have somebody sitting across from you. It's a different vibe. And you know what I mean? I like it. I like it a lot, and I'll put the work in. Don't worry. I got you. Ken says, I still have a chest-mounted gimbal. Ken, I thought you were leaving. Ken, that Magnum mount is a game changer. Yeah. So we all rocked, like, let's say, for example, up to what GoPro? Maybe 4 or 5? We're all rocking. The chest-mounted gimbal was the only way you can get stabilization. I forget what GoPro it was. Maybe 7, actually. 7 or 8 is when they start really introducing the stabilization. The software stabilization was decent enough to keep up with it, and you lost maybe a few things here or there, like motion blur and stuff in the process, and low light. And low light, you wouldn't get that stabilization would just break down. But times have changed. So I'm here to tell you right now, I got some time. Obviously the GoPros have improved, but I got some time with the Ace Pro 2. And one of the things they were adamant about shooting was low light stuff. And so when I was shooting the low light, like if you look at the footage, like it is completely stable and it's almost dark. Like I've got my outbound lights on and everything. So now they're getting to where the chips inside are capable of handling low light and maintaining stabilization. And it's pretty cool, like as a content creator. And I thought, like, in terms of scenario, when that's useful is if you're out doing a ride and you're documenting it and you're a content creator and like, boom, something happens, a mechanical happens, and you're out on the trail longer than you expected, but you still want to capture the adventure. Knowing that when that sun's getting close to setting, your footage is still going to be good is like a cool scenario. And I thought my buddy BKXC could utilize that, right? Because he's on these crazy adventures, but he probably wakes up early and he doesn't have them till night anymore. But I remember we did a bike packing trip through the Chilcotins with BCPOV, and it was one of my favorite adventures of all time. Side note, this is something that I've always wanted to do and have yet to do, and 2025 is going to be my year. I want to do a bike packing trip. I have never done one. I'd love to do it. I think the adventure sounds rad. I just got to lock it down. I think it always boils down to time, like how long can I leave the family and stuff. So I think I see my schedule opening up a little bit in 2025, and if that's the case, then the thing I've wanted to do for a long time, a bike packing trip. A multi-day bike. It doesn't have to be gnarly, but maybe just give me the ropes, like get used to it. Give me I need somebody to coach me into the right gear. What do I need on the bike? What do I need to carry? And then, off to the races. I still want to do it. I've probably been saying it for years, but it's on the list. It's 100% on the list. Oz Fishing and MTBC says, how? He says, hey, Calirado Kid, you have been my fave YouTuber for MTB. You've been the reason I got in last year. I started on a giant XTC and currently ride a custom Norco Storm. Awesome. I'm starting to think you guys are realizing that flattery will get you everywhere with me. I appreciate you guys jumping in. It's been a wild ride, and I plan on doing more long form stuff. I've been a little quiet on the live stream and long form stuff on YouTube, but I'm again planning on ramping it up coming through the end of this year and into next year. I think it's something fun to do. And honestly, when I was making these long form YouTube videos this week, obviously I was producing them prior to releasing them this week, but it reminded me how fun it is to actually be able to talk. One of the things, like on the social media stuff with the short form, is you have to really plan out what you say, because like every second, every millisecond counts when it comes to short form edits. But on YouTube, you could talk a little bit and you can actually tell your opinions, and you know what I mean? So it's like, it's different than what I'm doing on the social media side. So I think it's kind of fun. And I definitely want to make more, whether it's an opinion thing or whether it's like a how-to thing or me learning something for the first time and then like recording that process. I think it'd be pretty interesting. So expect more and we'll see how it goes. It could just tank horribly and you never know, but we're going to see what we can make work. Tatum says, you tried the DJI action cameras. I want to buy an Action 5, but I keep waiting for the next one to come out. No, I haven't tried the DJI stuff. I've only rocked GoPro, so I've got a Hero 12. And then now I've got the Ace Pro 2 and I've got the X4 from Insta360 since I work with them. I'm telling you right now, the Ace Pro 2 is a beefy machine. Like, it's really good. Like, a part of me expected it to be almost like a GoPro knockoff of sorts because I didn't know what to expect. But then when I started playing with it, I realized like how good it was. And I was really stoked. Like, one of the biggest things for me has always been, and I don't know if you guys know that this is still the case. I haven't tried the 13 yet, but my GoPro 12 and every GoPro before it, just utilizing that touchscreen was always just hit or miss. Like, you'd be like, all right, let me scroll. No, it wouldn't do it. Okay, there we go. Got it. All right. And then it would finally take, like, man, that Ace Pro 2, like when I'm navigating the menus, it's like, wait, hold on. Can I do the sound effects real quick? It's like, look, imagine you're inside the Ace Pro 2. Like, it's a bit like Tron. Like somebody zapped you inside the Ace Pro 2 and you're inside and now all you're seeing is me. And it's a bit like this, like, it's like that. And it's responsive as hell. Did you find yourself inside the Ace Pro 2 just now? I hope you did. That's been a lesson with the Calirado Kid. And now I lost track of where I was in the story. The bottom line is the GoPro's screen was never quite as responsive as I'd hoped. And it's like, oh, it was nice to just have that. Like, you know how, like, another example, let's go on a rant, shall we? Another example is how car manufacturers still can't figure out how to develop an in-dash system that is responsive as an iPhone, right? Like, you just still, it's like clunky, it's delayed. It's like, how do you, in 2024, we can get a probe on Mars, but we can't. Okay, let's talk about mountain biking. Let's get back on track. All right, you got me worked up, Tatum. You got me worked up. This is Tatum's fault. Everybody in chat, you can blame Tatum. There we go. All right. Whacker. Welcome in, Whacker. Good to see you. He says, you need to make another trip back out to Kentucky. Amish bike next time, promise. Yeah. It was everybody. We did a group ride. Okay, in case you guys don't know, I am working with N+1 Bikes. There's a shirt, incredible shirt, by the way. A lot of people are asking me about these shirts, and we went out to Kentucky and we went out to Louisville. You can't. Here's what I'm learning about every city. You just can't try to actually pronounce it, and that's how they pronounce it there. Here's a great example. All right, Louisville, like it's spelled Louisville, but everyone says Louisville, Louisville. You just can't, like, you just have to not try to pronounce things, and that's how it works. And then I found out recently, because we are officially announcing, and I put this out on IG, and I'll tell you guys as well. We announced a group trip coming up in March. I'm partnering up with Chasing Epic. We're going to be doing a 4-day adventure out in Utah, and it's, to me, it's spelled Hurricane, Utah. But I've reached out to Eric Porter, and I asked him, I said, hey, am I pronouncing this properly? And he said, no, it's Hurricane. You know, or you just like, apparently locals just do this just to screw with everybody else. Like they just do it to screw with everybody. Like that's got to be the only explanation for this. Like it's at some point they're just like, you know what? Like people are getting it right too many times. So we've got to just create an abbreviation and make sure that we make fun of anybody that comes here and doesn't pronounce it the way that we pronounce it. And this is also true of Galbraith. I rode Galbraith up in Bellingham, Washington, and everybody told me afterwards, they're like, no, dummy, the locals call it Galby. And I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Like, let's take it easy, all right? It's spelled Utah. It's literally spelled hurricane, and they call it Hurricane. I mean, how am I supposed to keep up, all right? How am I supposed to keep? Now I understand why comedians go to cities, and they screw up city names, because... You know what I'm saying? All right, we're back on target. We're back on target. Let me take a drink of my green tea, shall I? Alex says, I fell down the MTV rabbit hole after 18 years of being out of it as a kid. And now it's fun to see people with the same sense of humor as I do. But it's been a mind F seeing how much it's changed. Yeah. So for me, like I had a hardtail, you know, and I would just it was a specialized hardtail, and I would casually ride on flat trails. I never really knew of mountain bike destination stuff. So this is early on, maybe throughout my whole, you know, life. And it wasn't until, you know, the years ago when Brian got me into the idea of true mountain bike. Well, I don't say true mountain biking, but like the mountain biking that we know and love. And I was just getting into it. I didn't know anything about it. It was crazy to me. It was a very intimidating world, which is one of the reasons why I kind of made that like top 10 tips or 10 helpful tips for, you know, beginning mountain bikers. Like there's a lot of stuff I could probably do in a series like that, because there's just so many. When I started, man, like I was overwhelmed. Like I didn't understand any of it. And still to this day, there's a lot for me to learn, but I definitely was overwhelmed. And one of the things you mentioned also is like sense of humor. Like to me, whenever I go on a ride, whenever I go mountain biking, it's a fun adventure, right? It's a whimsical. I was going to say flurry. That's not the right word. It's a whimsical trot through a whimsical trot through the outdoors, right? It's always a blast. But then like when I talk about like mountain bike marketing, it's always the hardest of the hardcore. I still feel like they're missing an audience, and that's where I come in. All right. That's why I'm reaching out to sponsors. Like, come on, let me help you make some fun stuff. Like, because to me, like mountain biking is fun, and everybody I ride with is just for fun. Like, we're not hardcore at all. I mean, we're hardcore to a certain degree, but you know what I mean? We're not going to compete in Red Bull Rampage is all I'm saying. Even though I could, it looks easy. Doesn't it? I mean, it looks, don't tell anybody I said that. All right. It's certainly not easy. All right. Take it easy in here. All right. Milo says, right now I'm riding an REI DRT 1.1. It's worked pretty well, but I'm due for an upgrade. Any recommendations? The hard part with recommending bikes is first you got to say like, how much do you want to spend? Because like, that's the tricky part, right? That's the tricky part. And honestly, if the REI bike is working, keep rocking the REI bike. Like you don't need anything else. You're good. I've seen so many people. I used to go out to the track. I had a Mustang. It was a 5.0. It had 400 something horsepower. And I was getting lapped at the track by a Mazda Miata because the guy knew how to drive, right? This is a great example with bikes too. Like shred. That's all you need. Like that being said, I do get commissions on bikes if I sell them through M+1. So you should buy the most expensive one you can. All right. And use my affiliate link. All right. Anyways, let's get back on track. I'm not even joking. I was making jumps and saw you went live. So I went and sat down to Coke and watch. Yes. Awesome. That's awesome. So, I mean, the trick is also if you have YouTube Premium, and this is what I do sometimes if people go live, like then you can still close out your phone and then have headphones in and listen, which is kind of nice. There won't be a lot of visual aids tonight because we're just kind of hanging out for a little bit. And I wanted to say hi to everybody, but I love it, man. It's been a while since I've been live. I didn't announce this at all. I just kind of put it up. Next time I'll make sure to promote myself. Like then we'll get a bunch more people in here, but it's like, whatever. I just wanted to jump in and say hi to everybody for a little bit and tell some stories and tell you guys what's going on. The trip that we're organizing, by the way, that's happening in March is going to be in Hurricane, Utah. It's the 28th through the 31st. It's a 4-day trip, 3 days of riding, big riding days, and it should be pretty fun. I've worked with Chasing Epic before. I went to Crested Butte with them, and it was a great trip. So this sounds like a lot of fun. I wanted to do something local in the States. I wanted to do something that was kind of a shorter trip, so it'd be a little bit more manageable and more affordable for people, and hopefully it works out. I put the info up on Instagram and stuff. And then if anybody needs it, you can shoot me a DM there. I got to make a post here as well on Instagram or on YouTube, but that's going to be something cool that's going on. Speaking of which, since the last time we talked, we did go to Crested Butte. All right. Kyle and I, they wanted to bring me out to Crested Butte, which is like a place that I love to ride. And the cool part is like now with this whole celebrity status thing is like, essentially like they reach out and they say, hey, we want you to come out here. And I'm like, this is perfect because I get to go out there and I get to tell you guys how much I love it. And I get to go ride some of the stuff that's some of my favorite riding. So it was like a win-win for everybody. And I brought Kyle along as a cameraman and we get to shoot a lot of cool stuff. We made a bunch of videos out there and it was a great trip. Like Crested Butte is stunning. If you've never been to Crested Butte, Colorado, unreal. I would love if this trip goes well and the Utah trip goes well, I wouldn't mind doing a Calirado trip with Chasing Epic to Crested Butte like the following year. I think that would be like, I would love to show people that place. And it's so much easier when they handle the logistics, like the room, the board, the food, the everything, and you just show up. I think that'd be sick. Like that's such a good spot. Such a good place. Man, just the scenery, the riding, everything is good. Ken says, hey, cross country MTB is real MTBing. Yeah, it is. It is. No, 100, like there's no wrong answer when it comes to enjoying a bike. Like if you're out on a trail and you're having a good time, then I don't care what kind of bike you're on, right? Like we joke and we jab every now and then at cross country or road bikers or whatever. I mean, we can still make fun of road bikers anytime we want, right? Like, but when it comes to like riding a bike, it's just go enjoy what you like. We can also make fun of fat bikers because that's still like, what? No, I'm just kidding. Everything's fine. I wouldn't mind doing a fat bike ride in the snow, but I talked to somebody before and they said it's essentially like going uphill both ways. And so I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. It might be fun for the adventure if you can feel your hands. Working up to it. I think bike packing. Bike packing is where I got to get to first. I got to do bike packing first. Alex says my previous bike was a Trek Liquid with a Junior T-fork and a 9mm through axle, and ISIS drive cranks and MRP chain guides with rollers. Sounds like a steed to me, my friend. Sounds like a steed, Alex. Oz Fishing and MTB says, any tips or tricks you reckon I should do to my bike, or like any tricks to learn? No, not really. I mean, I'm pretty much a stock guy. Like when it comes to bikes, like I don't really do a lot of modifications. I have done them. Like on the Yeti, I put Hayes brakes on. I put new hubs and stuff on. I had a wheel set built. Just all these little things, but like really, bikes are pretty damn good. Like if you don't like the stock brakes or whatever, I don't like the SRAM stuff. I'm still not a huge fan of most of it. It's just really spongy. But then also you go to the Shimano side, like the XT stuff, far more punchy. I like the responsiveness, but it's also like there is no in between. You're either braking or not. It's like, so that in between on the Ripmo that I'm rocking right now, the brand new Ripmo, they put the Saint brakes on there, and the Saint brakes have kind of like the best of both worlds. They're like the punchiness of the Shimano stuff with a little bit of the modulation from the SRAM. Like I really like the Saint brakes, and the Hayes brakes, the Dominion A4s are some of my favorites. I'd like to outfit every bike with those, honestly. Like those are the probably my favorite brakes. If I was to put a pin in favorite, but not that anybody's asked me, but if someone was to ask me what's your favorite brakes, the Hayes Dominion V4s or 8.4s or whatever they're called, those are good, man. Those are good. All right, hold on. I'm catching up. Rega says, after moving to the DC area, decided to start biking and picked up a gravel bike. After watching your videos, I am now looking at also getting an MTB. Thank you. Yeah. So the gravel bike stuff is super fun. Like I went gravel biking, and you may have seen this when I went out to Mammoth, and they brought me out to talk about the upcoming race and all this stuff. But the scenery was unreal. I really enjoyed it. Now, one of the things that you don't get on gravel that you will get on MTB is the reward for the downhill. Like, and I'm sure like if you were riding your gravel bike on normal single track, you probably get some of this already. We were kind of doing big backcountry like gravel roads and stuff, and it was just enjoying the hell out of the scenery. But I remember going on the downhill, and you're just like, this isn't fun. Like compared to like a mountain bike downhill where you're real focused, you're just like, you could just zone out. You got the whole road you can move around on. The only thing you got to worry about is slipping out in the gravel, which makes you super nervous, because the one big like scar that I have is from like biting it in gravel, just having what do you call that? Not rug burn, but what's that term that motorcycles get when they crash on the cement? Is it you guys are gonna figure it out. All right, well, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's a different experience entirely. But the gravel bike, I still got to get a gravel bike. I wouldn't mind using it. I just don't have the time. Like a lot of the time that I would have has to be spent out mountain biking and filming. So one of these days. Ken says, Michigan has no mountains. I love fat biking the frozen shores of Lake Michigan. It's hard as concrete. That is pretty interesting, actually. How far can you go out? He says frozen shores, because the lake doesn't freeze all the way over, right? Just like, I don't know. But it sounds pretty wild. What about beach cruisers? You know what I would do? An beach cruiser. Like if I could put a battery on that thing and zip around up and down the beach, that'd be sick. Like, cause you could just jump in wherever you want. Like, I don't think that'd be cool. And you could get a dude behind you with one of those parachute things. And if you could make that thing go fast enough, you could just send him up into the air, like they do. What do they call it? Parasailing? I think it'll work. Road Rash. That's it. Ken's got it. It's Road Rash. Trail Prince got it as well. Good to see you, buddy. Jadaggert. Wait a minute. Jadaggert. And I might be screwing that one up as well. Says, hey, Calirado Kid, what do you think of the mountain bike brand Merida? Is it pronounced Merida? Like there's a town in Mexico called Merida, but I might be screwing that up. Is that a Spanish brand? I don't know anything about it. Never heard of it. Where are they based out of? I'm learning something every day. Rega says, for bike packing, you need to check out the Gap and CEO trails. It is Pittsburgh to see 100% dedicated gravel bike. Oh, see, that'd be cool. There's also one in Colorado. And I forget what the name of the trail is, but there's a big trail out in Colorado that you could do bike packing on. Like, I'm telling you, I'm going to do it. Can you imagine hauling around all the camera gear? I would bring one of my smaller cameras for sure. Like just a small compact camera, the Ace Pro 2, the Insta360, just the little cameras. I wouldn't need a drone. Like is anybody carrying a drone around anymore for content creation? Come on. Who wants to do that? But we'll see. Ozfisher says, all right, I'm going to go back out and do some wheelies and join back later. What time is it over there? Ozzy? I've got to, I have made it a mission. I will at some point get out to Australia to ride. I know plenty of people out there that want me to come out. And I looked at the flight time, and I was like, maybe later. Maybe I'll do this later. Like, just like, there's a massive flight out there. But if I do it, I think that I'll spend I would like to probably just spend like a month and hit there and then hit some New Zealand, maybe a couple weeks in Australia, a couple weeks in New Zealand, something like that. I would plan it to be, hopefully be there for a while. That's kind of the goal if I make it out there. I'd like to do another Europe trip. If I'm honest, Spain was incredible. And I messaged Doug from Bass Game TV. I was like, I kind of want to come back next year. So that would be a fun thing to do. Merida. Got it. All right. Good to see you. Finn's Gaming says, hey, how are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty damn good on this Friday night. And I'm stoked people are jumping in. This is, like I said, this is the very definition of a last minute live stream. And I just decided to jump in, dust off the gear, and make sure it was all still working. And then I could still talk for as long as I could talk. And that's kind of what we're doing tonight. I don't know how long I'll hold you guys hostage, because who knows what else I could be doing tonight. It's probably just editing, like nothing exciting, but there it is. Lake Michigan does freeze completely over, hasn't in a few years. Okay, interesting. Oh, it's 12 p.m. What are you out there doing jumps for at 12? Oh, 12 p.m. is lunchtime. I was like, wait a minute. Not 12 a.m. I got it. I got you. All right, fair enough. We're up to date. All right, so we did the Crested Butte trip, which was really fun. In addition to that, like we've done the Oaxaca trip, which was a blast earlier this year. Maybe that's something we do in the future. And I was trying to decide like where I wanted to travel to. Now, I had a problem that came into play, right? And the problem was when we came back from Oaxaca, I started getting like, not like throw up sick, but I got like feverish sick all of a sudden, like almost out of nowhere. And my family had been off and on sick throughout the week. So it's possible it finally just caught up to me. And luckily it was after all the riding and all the hanging out and all that stuff. But on the flight, I degraded fast. So I was on the flight. We're flying. It was delayed. There was tons of delays. And so we had a connecting flight in Dallas to get back to home base, wherever we were flying into. I forget. Oh, we were going straight to, Jess and I were going straight to the Sedona Mountain Bike Fest. And so I remember like we were on the plane and we got off and I was dying. I thought I was going to die. And so we get off the plane and I'm like barely make it through security. We have to run to the train. The train takes us to the connecting flight. When I get there, they're already boarding. So we were that close to missing this flight. And then I go to check into the flight and I realize I dropped my passport somewhere in the Dallas airport. So it's been months. I've been putting it off because it's such a nightmare to get a new one for some reason, like logistically, like why is it so hard? Anyways, I finally got it squared away. So now I'm like, I need to make an international trip. And then I was like, that'd be cool to do a road trip up to Whistler. And then you realize, yeah, they're done for the season. Like, damn it, I screwed it up again. Poor planning on my part, but that's how it goes. Finn's Gaming says, I love your videos, man. Keep up the good work. Thank you and cheers to you. Thanks for jumping in on this Friday night. I appreciate the hell out of you. Oz Fishing MTB says, if you come to the Gold Coast, they have a bike park called something like Boomerang Bike Park, and there are some monster jumps there. Check it out. The funniest part is, and you guys are all going to put me down still, but jumps are not my forte. I just like my specialty. If I had a specialty at all, and I've told people this in the past, what I get the most enjoyment from is like riding really gnarly, chunky stuff. Like I like that. That's my jam. Seabass, normal mountain biker, he loves jumps. Like I don't like, I'll go to a bike park and do some jumps, but like after a while, I'm just like jumps. Yes. But I like going down the gnarly, like rock rolls and things like that. So that's kind of where my heart is at. But I promise 2025 is the year that I'll learn jumps like really well. Okay, I promise you guys, I'm gonna grind it out. William says, hey, Calirado, officially air or coil, which is better? Also going to Jackson, Wyoming. Yeah. You know what? I don't think I've ever ridden a coil. Now that I think about it, I don't think I ever have. Everything I've had has always been air, so I could not tell you the difference. My buddy Brian, the DeGonger, he runs a coil and he loves it. So I don't know. I mean, the advantages are what? That you don't have to screw around with pressures and stuff with it, right? But what are the disadvantages? Weight? That's like my understanding. There's disadvantages, weight. But the advantage is you don't have to screw with it too much, right? Am I right about that? I could be wrong. Alex says, it's not a hostage situation for the willing. That's true. You guys are putting up with me. That's your fault. You're going to learn your lesson tonight. All right. J Booz says, are you going to Sedona MTB Fest this year? J Booz, I think I am. What are the dates? Brian Gong told me this earlier today, and I wasn't really paying attention. But yes, I should be there. I'm not here to tell you right now, March is going to be an absolutely monster month for me. It's going to be crazy. I don't know how all of a sudden March has already filled up for me, but it has. Let me explain to you what's going on in March. And that's not all bike related. So to give you an idea, my buddy Ollie, he started a page called the Elite. So this is pre-COVID. He started a comic book consignment page on Instagram called Elite Comics 11. This was early on, prior prior to me starting the Calirado Kid page, I think. And I would do live streams for them helping move comic books. And we still do this to this day. Occasionally I'll jump in and do this. But basically, you'll connect the buyer, the seller, all this stuff. And so anyways, he is putting on his first physical convention. He's been doing a lot of virtual conventions that are crazy successful. He's doing a physical convention in Queens. I'm pretty sure it's Queens in March. That's going to be 8th and 9th. So I'm going to be coming to New York area, 8th and 9th, which I thought maybe I could wrap in like an East Coast tour prior to that. Let's say early March, okay? Let's say. I don't know. I haven't planned that out yet. All right. But I'm going to go out there for the comic thing and support him and show an appearance and all that because I love those guys. So I'll be on the East Coast. Then there's something going on. Like somebody asked me to officiate their wedding on the 21st or something. I got to look at the fridge. I got a magnet with it on there. Like, so I'm going to officiate a wedding later in March. Then we've got the Calirado Kid Utah trip, March 28th to the 31st. And then the Sedona Fest is also in March. What are the dates? March 4th. So March 14th to 16th is the Sedona Fest. Like, I don't know if my wife knows she's not going to see me all of March. Like, I don't know if she knows this yet. Whew. She's not listening, I'll tell you that much. So March is basic. Like, what the hell happened? My March is full. It's going to be a wild ride. It's going to be a wild ride. So, yes, the plan is to be out at Sedona Mountain Bike Fest. I'd still like to be involved in somehow, like doing a presentation. I had floated the idea of doing like a creator summit there. And like basically you guys I'll put the feelers out here, and there's not enough people to really get a fine gauge of how this would work. I might have to do this on Instagram, but like if we organized an event where we got a bunch of big creators together and we talked about our process, we did like a Q&A and like all this stuff. Like I thought it'd be fun, like a live event where you just hang out with us and like me, Jess, Seabass, like outside Brendan, whoever, and just like, we're just telling stories of the creative process and almost like a live podcast situation. Then we could do Q&As with the audience and everything. I've been wanting to do that for years, but the logistics behind it are tricky. And then also like, it's really fast paced for me when we go to those events because like we can't make it 3 feet without running into somebody and saying hi to somebody and knowing somebody, or somebody says hi and takes a picture. And it's like, to me, the most valuable part of going to festivals is hanging out with everybody. And so that tends to take priority oftentimes, but we'll see. I mean, that's something I've always been thinking about, but yeah. Let's see. Wait a minute. I'm catching up. Here we go. William's suggestion is awesome. It was I was in Jackson back in September and it's freaking amazing. Yeah, I'm adding it to the list then. I just got to I need more time for travel. That's the hardest part. That is the hardest part. I'm hoping 2025 is the year that I'll have a lot more time for travel. What is your best bike you got? Right now, it's between the Ripley and the Ripmo. I got both of the new ones that I'm playing around with in the garage. And that Ripley, man, at 130, 140 for everything around here, it's lightweight, it's snappy. Like that Ripmo I took to North Star and it was the monster. I loved it. But for the regular riding, that Ripley might be it, dude. It's like, it's a little bit of everything. I like it a lot. Vince is in here. Vince, good to see you, buddy. I saw you riding with DeGonger the other day. I think you guys went up to the gathering. I got so caught up the last few weekends filming stuff that I was obligated to film that I haven't really ridden my bike much, and like I can feel it in my bones. Do you guys notice that if you don't go ride for a while, like your body feels like crap, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. I need to just get back on the horse and go ride all weekend. It's been so much filming lately, but that's the price you pay. It's a price to pay for being a genius. All right. Well, Biking Vikings. I like that. Wait a minute. It should be like the Vikings, Psychings of the Nike. All right. We'll figure that out later. He says, I'm starting a pretty generic POV channel and are struggling to find what would make it unique and make people want to watch it. Are people still interested in high quality shots and tips? It's a good question. You bring up Biking Vikings. I've been looking at the trends of the whole mountain bike YouTube side of things, and I'm watching and I'm looking and all this stuff. And it seems to me across the board that the trend has been like riding videos have been trending downwards. Like maybe mountain bike in general. I think maybe there was a big influx with COVID. Maybe there was more stuff. Maybe we're seeing a course correction in the state of YouTube mountain biking stuff, but it's hard to say. I think very hyper-focused stuff tends to do well still, like how to fix this thing or like how to do a wheelie. You could make a how to wheelie video and it'll still be successful, even though there's a million of them. It's just like how people release how to cook the perfect steak videos, and there's still a million of them being made a day, and people still watch it. Like, what are they doing? Like, they're all the same. You put it you sear it in a pan, you put some butter and some rosemary and garlic, and you got the perfect steak. It's not that hard, guys. I don't mean to get mad I don't mean to yell at you specifically, everybody here, but you could be contributing to the problem if you watched how to cook a perfect steak video yesterday or today or tomorrow or yesterday, or the day before yesterday. All those things, we're getting caught up on the wrong topic, aren't we? Look, the bottom line is Vikings. The trick to getting good videos and finding stuff that gains traction is, one, doing stuff that you like making. You got to make stuff that you like making. Otherwise, you're going to get burnt out, right? In addition to that, like, it's still always really fun to play around with camera work. Still in my short form to this day, I'll every now and then sprinkle in some interesting camera angles, or I'll pull off a shot that you think is like a pre-baked transition, but it's not. I actually pulled it off by moving the camera myself, or like when I have to film these things myself, I've got to get really creative. I shot a spot recently for Everyman Jack, and I had to, and Vince probably knows the backstory of this because he probably watches the YouTube stories or the Instagram stories. But I had to get a shot where I'm in my own crotch because there's two of me, right? And I crash in, and you're smelling the all over deodorant. Turns out the other guy put it on his taint, essentially. And so he's like, "What's that smell?" Well, luckily I ran into my friend John and somebody else, and I was like, "I need you to be a stunt crotch." And so, like, this is, to me, what makes this process fun, is when you've got this idea and you just you eke it by. You just, like, boom, you grab the people, you get it all squared away. It was like really fun to me, and I don't really care if it does well or not. Like, it's a paid thing, but it's like Everyman Jack's been so cool and let me loose with my creative concepts that, like, those are the funnest ads I shoot. I love it, man. They just let me, they let my mind wander, and it's so fun. Sometimes I try my most creative stuff out there, but as soon as somebody says like paid video, they just check out, which sucks. But I get it. All right, I get it. But sometimes I have my most creative moments shooting those things. I don't know why. I think I want to try harder. Like, I want them to do well, so I put a lot of work into them. I'm working on one for Gerber right now, which is like a multi-tool. They're like really high quality multi-tools. And I wanted to take like do you guys know who Edgar Wright is? Edgar Wright's a director. He did Shaun of the Dead, I believe. He did a bunch of other ones, but he's really creative in his camera angles and his shots. And so, like, in this ad, I'm like doing these like close-ups, like, like it whips out the tool, like punch zoom, like you're switching out the, like, all these fast-paced edits that were kind of inspired by Edgar Wright as a filmmaker, like, that I put into this. And I sound like a little uppity right now, but this is what, when you're an artiste, you got to appreciate your work. And I think most of the times, like, most people will just be like, like the amount of effort that goes into editing every single angle and all that stuff. Oh God, it's fun. I enjoy it. And so, like, I would say, I guess I got on a tangent, but the principle of the matter is, like, you got to make what you like. And maybe it'll be successful, maybe it won't. At the very least, you will learn a lot in the process, and then you can always pivot later. Okay, don't be locked in. That's the greatest advice I could give anybody as a creator. What the hell's going on with my hair? Jesus. Don't get locked into one thing. If it's not working and you want to try something else, or you just felt like doing something else, just do it. And that's how I started with the short form stuff. The long form stuff was doing okay, but the short form went absolutely nuts. And so I pivoted and really focused on that. I'm a little pissed off. My hair's going crazy right now. Hold on, just give me a second. What's going on there? Brian Gong, I was counting on you to give me the right hair product for this. All right, we're back on track. Ken says, do you ever race? I have a big race coming up next weekend in northern Michigan. Ice Cometh MTB race, 5,500 racers in the woods. It's awesome. 5,500 racers. Good God, man. That's way too many people. Just beat, as long as you beat 3,000 of them, like, you could tell people, look, I beat 3,000 people last weekend in a race, and anybody at work will be impressed. Okay. That's all you got to do. But if you beat less than that, if it's like 2,999, you're going to be like, look, I beat like 2,900 people. They're going to be like, that's stupid. Like, why'd you even do it? So you just got to, as long as you beat at least 3,000, Ken, then you'll have my respect. Okay. All right. Makes sense. William says, Coil is super consistent and set and forget more than just air. Jackson's backcountry trail. Lithium is great. All right. Fair enough. You spelled trail wrong. Oh, you can tell I have a kid. I correct the spelling all the time. All right. Empty Beer says, what's up? Good to see you, Empty Beer 937. J Boo says, if it makes her feel any better, hopefully I'll see you. Yeah, J Boo's, you might see me, but she might not. Maybe I'll bring her out to Sedona and she could be my camera person. Can you say, yeah, you got it. Rowan says, yo, when and where? I'm still in a hardtail. Yeah, nothing wrong with a hardtail, bud. Again, ride what works, and that's all you need. I'm not a bike snob, but like I said, if you want to buy a really expensive bike, buy it through me. I get a part commission through N+1 Bikes. All right, I can help you. By the way, I can get you guys discounts. So you just hit me up on IG's best way. Just shoot me a DM. I can get discounts on bikes. It's the best. What's the point of leveraging your celebrity if you can't take care of the fans too, right? Side note, since you're here, we're going to be doing a big giveaway really soon. And hopefully you guys keep a track on IG with stuff that I do, because that's kind of the easiest way to do this stuff, like giveaway wise. But we're going to be giving away a full on bird wheel set. If you guys don't know what that is the polyethylene, wait, I forgot how to say it, but polyethylene, urylene, whatever, like spokes, the cloth spokes, and a full wheel set. Those things usually run like $2,500. N+1 and I are going to be doing a big bad giveaway soon on Instagram. So make sure you're paying attention, and we'll post all the rules and all that stuff. But that's a good giveaway. Would you agree? That's a beefy one. We're going to do a fun one for you guys. So there you go. Have you had any experiences with the Float X2 shock? No, I don't get too deep in the woods with settings on stuff or whatever. So even if I did, and if something went wrong, I wouldn't know it. Yeah. Hey, from San Diego, Robert. I was in San Diego not that long ago. It was nice, but I wasn't there for riding. I was just doing family wedding stuff. So I was just there for moral support, and we had a good time. And then the weather was always nice as always. Let's see. Robert also says, did Tahoe trips every year, but have not been for bit. Yeah, I didn't make it out this year either, unfortunately. I don't know why every year I don't get up to Tahoe as much as I would think I would. It's not that far. I feel like I get in the weeds with filming, and I just get to the closest place I can to get all the stuff I need to get filmed, and then I'll get a ride in. It's just the nature of the beast and kind of what we do. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Yes, Rowan, it was a stunt crotch. I did need a stunt crotch. Can confirm. If you guys go watch that Everyman Jack video, I needed a stunt crotch, and we pulled it off. I pulled it off. Yeah, all right. Rowan says, I don't mind sponsor vids as long as it still feels like a skit. Yeah, and that's really the trick for me. I think I'm proud of a lot of the stuff that I've done. I don't do stuff that I don't like. Sometimes they want it more serious, and then I ask, where did you guys find me? Do you know what I do? like Bosch was a great example. They were a great partner. I did 3 videos for Bosch, the motor, and so that's a hard sell already. How do you make videos on an e-bike motor, an e-bike battery, all this stuff to talk about their systems? And by the way, the motor and stuff was tremendous. It was a great setup. But of course, it's hard to get people involved with that. And then I made a really funny video, and they came back and they're like, it's a little too funny. I was like, do you know who you're talking to? So every now and then I need to pivot, and it's where did these people, sometimes you're like, where'd you find me? Do you know what you've gotten yourself into here? So I always try to keep an element of what the Calirado Kid channel is in the sponsored videos, and hopefully that comes through. I think a lot of the times it does. I put a lot of work into those so they're not too pushy, but I have fun with it. And it also helps me do more, right? I have more influx of cash coming in, which means I could do more stuff, more trips, more whatever, more content created ideals. Anyways, we'll get off a tangent on that. It's fine. We're back on target. Rowan says, I've heard of Edgar. Yeah, he's awesome. Let's see. What are we catching up? Vince and Brian are just figuring out tomorrow's ride. I get it. I got to film a Halloween one. I've got a great idea for a Halloween video. It's think like a mountain biker's, what do you call it? House of Horrors? Or what do you call it? Not horrors, horrors. Okay. Get your mind out of the gutter. All right. But imagine walking. It's dark and flashing lights and atmospheric, and there's just all these things that mountain bikers are scared of. Trust me, I got a lot of great ideas on this one. We're going to pull it off. I'm going to see if I can rope Kyle into helping me out. Found Harpy says, I'm a bit late. How's the stream going? Don't ask him. They're probably going to tell you it's terrible. All right. Whacker says shorts from N+1 were the best. Yeah, we shot a lot of videos. Now, the best part about this partnership with N+1 is that when I went out to Louisville, to Kentucky, and we knocked out so many videos in the shop. I didn't realize how many videos there were that I wanted to shoot inside of a bike shop. Sometimes it's important to me to have the right setting. I could film a thing, but when you have the right setting, it sells it and it looks better. So we knocked out a ton of videos. Man, I can't even tell you how many millions of views we got on the stuff that we shot out there. I was just knocking them out, and Sean was awesome. He shut down the shop on Sunday, and I knocked out 4 videos. We went to work. We did a group ride. It was a great trip. N+1 is a great shop. Thanks to Brian Gong for really helping me get with Sean, who's the owner of N+1. And What a great partner. We're going to be working on a lot of cool stuff. They've got a lot of sales going on. I try to pass that information over on Instagram. I haven't done a great job of it, but I got to find a way to like pass on like, hey, there's 25% off if you guys are interested. Like those sorts of things where it's like, if you're already in the market and you want to save money, like that's what I'm trying to help with. I don't know if I've been doing a good job of it, but eventually we'll get there. Rowan says, any tips for doing rides on a hardtail? I can only have one trail bike now and I don't want to get rid of my hardtail. No, just keep your knees loose because you don't have a shock to absorb anything. You know, that's all you got to worry about and you'll be fine. Everything will be fine. Connor says, my family loves your vids. Connor, does that mean you don't and your family does, or you as well like my videos? Because it's otherwise like Brian Gong, I'll put the band hammer down right now. No, it's thank you. I appreciate it. I've been stoked, man. It's been good. It's always a creative challenge to come up with new stuff and whatever else. And I try to do my best and hopefully it comes through. And I just like making stuff. So thanks for putting up with my jokes. DS, oh, it's just D Snowman. Today, Junior. He says, what's up, Calirado? I ran into you on Darrington Trail a few months back. Yes, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. I got to make it back out to Darrington. Night rides out there would be fun. I usually just go out to Granite Bay, but I feel like a Darrington night ride would be fun. A little cliff exposure. It could be entertaining. Holtcraft says, it is inevitable that if you stay in low gears and crank too hard, my chain will skip teeth. I don't know. Somebody could probably answer that. Here's a question I have for you guys as an audience. You can maybe help me. How is it physically possible? How is it physically possible that you can be all right, so you can have almost every one of your gears shift properly, and then you get into the middle of the cassette, and there's like a couple that don't shift right. Like, but all the other ones do. Like, how is that? Like, I get if they all, like me from a mechanical side, like, I wire up audio and stuff like that. Like, I get, like, if something goes wrong, like, the mics don't work. All the mics don't work or whatever, right? Like, but, like, when a couple gears inside somewhere into the cassette, like the middle of the cassette, like, don't shift right, and all the other ones do, you're like, how? Like, do a micro adjustment on the stupid wireless thing and it just screws all the other ones up. Like, I don't understand that. My God. Just don't get me started on the wireless stuff again. All right. I'll get all pissed off. Is that in Canada? Wait. Rowan says, is that in Canada? What is Canada? I forgot. I lost track. All right. Ask me again. Calirado ride Sunday. Yeah, where you want to ride, Brian? Let me know. I'm going to see. I think I can. I got a ride this weekend, so I got to figure it out. I think I got to do some filming tomorrow and catch up with everything, but I do want to ride, so we'll figure it out. Maybe Rockville would actually be fun to get down to. The Fit Master 2 says, I am your biggest fan. That's not true. Kyle is my biggest fan, but if you would like to be my second best fan, then you can be, and I'll let you slide right into that slot. Okay. Connor says, I love your Salida shirt. Yeah, that's a rad shirt, man. I had a good time when I was in Salida. That Colorado trip was awesome. Use flat pedals in the haunted house idea. No, I got a better idea. Trust me. It's good. And I can't tell you the secrets because then you're going to be like, oh, this isn't funny. He already told me that. It's like a spoiler, right? Like when you watch a movie trailer and you see everything in the trailer before the movie comes out, screw it. I don't watch trailers anymore. Like, okay, here's my rules on trailers. All right. If I see one trailer, like the first teaser trailer, and I'm in, like if I see the trailer and I'm like, that looks sick, I'm out. Like I don't watch any more trailers. And then I wait for the movie to come out. Like Deadpool Wolverine's a good example. I maybe saw a teaser trailer for it. And I was like, I'm not watching anything else. I'm not watching any behind the scenes. Nothing. I'm just going to go see the movie and then I'll go watch all that stuff. And sure enough, you go back and watch those trailers. There's tons of cameos and all these little scenes that get spoiled. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to know. Like I enjoy going in, not knowing what's happening or what's coming up. I don't even want to know the storyline. I want everything to be just new to me. And so like, I don't know how I'm start talking about that, but there it is. That's my philosophy on movie trailers. So there we go. Biking says, this is definitely MTV related. And I feel like you already said it, but what's your favorite band? Oh, I got so many weird little things that I listen to, man. Obviously, like I think my favorite artist that I listen to now is Prof. He's a hip hop artist based out of Minnesota, I believe, originally. But he comes to Sacramento every year, and I go see him every year. We did the show recently with him. I love it. But I like hip hop. I like techno. I like I like all kinds of music. So it's hard to say. Like it really depends on my mood, I suppose. I don't listen to it on the trail, though. I can assure you of that. I have no desire. Okay. I don't want to piss anybody off here, but I have no desire to listen to music while I'm riding. And I just enjoy the quiet when I'm out there. You know, maybe it's because, you're just around people all day. And so sometimes going out on a ride, it's just quiet. I like that. I like the sound of the trail. Okay, there we go. Rowan says, oh, I didn't think about knees loose. Man, I'll do that one. yeah. Just keep your knees loose. You'll be fine. Everything will be fine. And your arms. If that still feels rough, you'll be fine. Everything's good. The Fitmaster 2 says, I want to start my own MTB channel. There is nothing stopping you. If you got a cell phone, you can start a channel. That's all you need nowadays. Start getting creative. Start filming stuff. Just go to town. Just play around. Get better. You just got to screw up for a long time to get good at stuff. That's how it works. I'm down for the night ride. Yes, dude, we should do that. You can't do night rides in Rockville, right, Vince? I'm sure that would be punishing as a night ride, honestly, because it's so, like, rocky. But, like, if you come out to Granite Bay or something, like, that'd be super fun. That'd be super fun. Bent derailleur hanger could be the problem. It might have taken a hit at North Star. Now, here's the deal. I didn't crash once at North Star. Okay, not once. Brian knows this. He can attest to this. But somehow my bike took a beating. Like, I don't even know how. Like, there's all kinds of, like, on the cranks, like, there's a big chunk out of the metal on the 5-dev cranks. I was like, it must have been a rock just flew up and hit it because I didn't crash on anything. I don't remember hitting anything with the derailleur, but it's entirely possible that's what it is. Now I got to look at that. Damn it. Ken says, I am the third biggest fan. All right, you slide right into that slot, buddy. I'll give it to you. You're there. Yes. Yeah. Andy says, too true on the middle of the cassette axis. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the wireless stuff. Honestly, seems to have all the same problems as wired, other than just having a cable in the cockpit, which I don't care about anyways. It's just one more thing to remember to charge a battery and stuff. Like, I like the concept, but man, it just hasn't sold me on, like, its next level abilities. Like, remember how they told you, right? And you guys talk about bent derailleur hangers. Remember how I told you, like, that thing, just remember, I didn't crash. I haven't crashed on that bike. And they said, if you could stand on that thing and it'll avoid danger by itself. Like, it's got AI inside of it. No, they didn't say that. But, like, if it just took a rock strike and bent the derailleur, like, what's the point of that whole thing? What's the point of that whole speech where they're like, oh, it's smart enough to avoid it and just move itself and bring it back. That's their marketing materials. All right. Hashtag not sponsored or ever sponsored by SRAM. They'll never sponsor me, but it's fine. I don't need their money. I'm going to delete this if I ever do get sponsored by them. And I don't want none of you better be clipping this and sending it to them. I don't appreciate that. All right. You got to be on my side. All right. My side. Okay. Heart. Wait, what do we got? All right. I'm catching up. Shin bangs. Okay. Foundy. I'll give that to you. Foundy is the fourth biggest fan, although I have seen Foundy in here many times. So he might be slotted up higher, guys. Ken, you might. I'm just saying. All right. We're back on track. This is the king of all last minute live streams. I appreciate you guys coming in to hang out. This is by no means organized. This is by no means structured, but I just wanted to jump in and say hi and say that I'm still here on YouTube and I'm still chugging along. You guys see the short form stuff all the time, but I'm promising more long form videos. I've delivered 2 this week. So watch your goddamn mouth if you say that I haven't been present. All right. I haven't, but I'm here. But I've always said, like, the hardest part for me with long form stuff is, like, producing. It just takes a lot of time, but I'm going to figure it out because I like it. I was saying earlier in the live stream, like, to me, it's fun because I can actually talk again. Like, on the short form stuff, like I said, it has to be so structured and so tight with the timing that, like, you got to almost, like, really formulate what you're going to say and squeeze it tight. But then, like, when I was doing the long form stuff, I could just talk about my opinions on things. I was like, oh, this is fun. So we're going to do more of it. 100%. I like it. So there we go. All right. North Star, a.k.a. Narstar, a.k.a. Death Star. That's right. Octodad is in here. Good to see you, Octodad. It's been a while since the Calirado Kid live stream, huh, buddy? Yep. It has been. David Go says, bro, love your videos. Keep me cracking up. Continued success, brother. Giant Trans owner from Orlando, Florida. I kept up a little bit on the hurricane stuff. Is everybody okay out there? Like, I heard it kind of didn't hit as hard as expected, which is nice, but I don't know if the Orlando area was hit. I know it was Tampa and stuff, right? I used to have family out near Tampa, but hopefully everybody's okay out there, man. Good on you. I'd love to make it out there and ride. I want to jump over an alligator. Like, if I'm going to be pissed off if I die and I haven't jumped over an alligator on a mountain bike, I'm just going to say it. I just said it. I'll be pissed off. And Rowan says, I won't clip it. Pinky promise. All right. Rowan says 10 out of 10. Solid MTB and advice. Keep doing you. Yeah. What time is it? What time is it where you are? 10:16. Okay. It is 7:27. So it's, yeah, you must be East Coast time. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock here, so still relatively early. Thanks for the content while I heal up from another broken clavicle. Quit doing that, Brian. Man, there's been some nasty injuries. Like, obviously, Red Bull Rampage, every year somebody takes a big hit and gets helicoptered out, and it's scary as hell, man. I never want to see anybody crash hard like that. It sucks. I can only imagine. I have been lucky up to this point, but at some point, my number is going to be punched, but doing something stupid. Thus far, I've been safe. But yeah, there it is. There it is. Hero Dirt in New Zealand at the moment. Yeah, I got to make it out to New Zealand. What's the story? Yeah, we're going to get there one day, Octodad. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We're going to have a Calirado Kid group ride in New Zealand. 100%. And I'll pick up the accent in no time, and everybody will just think I'm local. It'll be fine. It's 3:30 in New Zealand. Awesome. Thanks for jumping in, Marty. Good to see you, buddy. Look, I don't want to hold you guys hostage for too long tonight. I just wanted to jump in and tell you what was going on. We've got that trip coming up. If you guys want any details on it, you can shoot me an email or shoot me info. I told you already. Basically, the Chasing Epic trip, we're going to be organizing my first ever local trip. So I did the Oaxaca trip, which was really fun. And that was an international trip, right? I wanted to do something in the States, so it was easier to people to, unlike not Marty, but easier for people to get to. So we're doing a Utah Hurricane trip. It's going to be March 28th through the 31st. So if you guys want to come ride with the Calirado Kid, it's all inclusive. That's room and board. That's food. That's bikes. I think you can get it $200 off if you're going to bring your own bike too. This is something to think about. And then it's like shuttles, it's guides, it's everything. It's going to be a pretty rad trip. I'm pretty stoked on it. We'll see how the interest is. If it does well, if like it's easy to sell out or whatever, then I'd like to do at least once a year, just do a big trip and get everybody together. But I get it, costs and travel and all that stuff. So we're going to see how it plays out. If it doesn't work, then I'll just stick doing trips by myself. I'll bring Jess with me and we'll just, whatever. But yeah, I think it'll be fun. It's in March. So it's going to be the 28th through the 31st and it's in Hurricane, Utah. And I'm thinking about then there's the Sedona Fest right before, a couple weeks before that. So March is going to be a very busy month, but the trip should be fun. And I wanted to do something local. And then Brian just did an event out at Everstoke, which turned out to be pretty good. He did a NorCal unofficial Yeti gathering out there. Brian Gong, who was in chat, I don't know if he's still here, but that seems like a good opportunity maybe in 2025 to do something out at Everstoke and just do a hangout session. Just keep it simple. Like, hey, you lock in your own camping setup. We'll figure out shuttles for bike rides, and we'll just go and hang out at the brewery afterwards and do big fire pits and stuff. That might be a good opportunity for 2025 just to get whoever wants to come hang sort of thing. And that's an option as well. I'd like to put more stuff like that out. I think organizing a group ride is always tricky. I like doing it, but it's like, how do you get the information into people's hands? I think like that's one of the things I talk about, putting together like a dreaded newsletter. I know like people aren't huge fans of that, but like, how do I get information into people's hands and know they got it? That's one way to do it, through the website and through like a newsletter, and just say, hey, there's a big group ride coming up. There's an event coming up. Like, get that information in you guys' hands. Because if I put it here in the community tab with a picture, it's almost impossible to get people to see it. And then I'll do a post on Instagram and we'll get stuff there. So it's like, I always want to make sure, like, if something cool is happening, like, I'd love to make sure everybody knows about it, but like, it's always hard to disseminate that information and to know that it got in everyone's hands. So like, we'll see, we'll figure it out. I'm going to plan on doing a lot more stuff in 2025 and if I travel, I want to make sure people know like, hey, I'm coming through, like we're doing rides, like come hang out. Like, so if I do an East Coast tour, which would be ideal, it'd be super fun. Then it's like, hey, I'm going to be doing a group ride this Saturday or whatever. Like, come and, just getting the information out. That's all I'm saying. Because I like to hang. Like, that's the whole point of doing this thing, is to go in to hang out with everybody. Like, why would I go over to the East Coast just to ride by myself? No. So we're going to figure it out. Empty Beer 937 says, if you do decide to ride trails in Florida, try the Santos Vortex Pit. That sounds very scary. A Vortex Pit? Is it like, what the hell? I'll check it out. I know, God, what's the name of Joe Tonka? Mr. Tonka, he is out there. So I definitely hit him up. He is a great rider. I ran into him at Whistler a couple years ago. He had a downhill bike with his buddies, and I was like, I would ride with you, but you guys look serious. I'm not going to ride with you today. And he appreciated it. KP85 says, separated shoulder in Salmon Falls. Hang in there, Brian. Oh God, yuck. Yes. Yeah. Dates don't line up. That's okay. Not a big deal. Again, there's no pressure. I always put this stuff out there, and if people can make it, they can make it. Great. There's only 12 spots available. So hopefully that trip fills up and it's like easy and we just go and have a good time. See, but we'll find out. Like, this is the first time really organizing this sort of thing. So it's like, there's all kinds of things that could go wrong. We'll see. Either way, it's going to be awesome. Cows are calling me. Ride or die. Peace out. See you later, Marty. Good to see you, buddy. Have you rode Burn Park? No, I haven't. I haven't been over to the East Coast really at all for riding. The only riding I've done technically on the East Coast, which isn't really East Coast, is Louisville. So that's like kind of East Coast-ish, but that's like further east than west than California is. Is that how that works? Okay, all right, fair enough. Yeah, exactly. David says trails are being cleaned up weekly after the hurricane. Lots of work. Go to Santos. Okay, so Santos is the way to go. And Alafai. Oh, I have heard of Alafai as well. If you ever visit the area, then hit the Gulf beaches. Yeah, you better believe there's beach days involved. I better work out before that. I don't want to show up to the beach with a dad bod. Actually, I'm not scared of nothing. I'll show up there. It doesn't matter. Rowan says, oh, if my local group had a newsletter, I'd love that. Currently, it's through Facebook group, which I usually, I don't have Facebook notifications on. There's no way I would see it. I have to log in and check stuff. So it's like, trust me, I turned off notifications a long time ago with the amount of comments and likes and things that are coming through. So for me, I have to actively go find it. And like, that's not always the best thing for everybody. You know what I mean? Yep. Connor says, where in Colorado are your favorite MTB trails? So Crested Butte is some of my favorite stuff. Crested Butte was incredible. And where else did I ride in Colorado? Like that whole surrounding area, like there's no wrong answer. Like Fruita's got a lot of great stuff. There's so many varied terrains out in Colorado that it's like, there's tons of stuff. They have very varied riding, very varied types of riding. Does that make sense? There you go. Rowan says, how do you coordinate those trips? Like, hey, I was thinking about doing a trip in 2025. Would anybody want to do it? And so we got enough good feedback that I decided, like, he was like, hey, let's do one. I got one in Utah. It's kind of like a shorter trip, so we could just do a fun little whatever. And so that worked out. I don't know if you do custom trips for everybody, but they do custom trips. So like you could reach out to Chasing Epic, for example. He does a ton of different locations, and you could just say, hey, we want to do a private trip. And if you have enough people, I'm sure they'd organize it. I think they have information on their site about that, if that helps. It's the Fitmaster. Wait, how is your name Fitmaster and you got a dad bod? Actually, whatever. Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. I wish I had more time to work out and stuff, but I'm too busy filming bad videos for the internet. What can I say? Priorities, right? Priorities. Okay. So anyways, I like I said, I don't want to be on here too long tonight. We've been at it for an hour, believe it or not. Things are flying by, but I wanted to jump in, say hi, tell you all the things we got going on. I don't think there's anything big going on trip-wise through the course of the year. This year, it's going to be pretty mellow. Like, I don't plan on traveling anywhere as far as I know, although I did get invited. There's a new tour group that are operating out of Mexico City, and they're also doing stuff in Argentina. And they had talked about me coming out to Argentina and possibly Mexico City. So I'm deciding whether or not I want to do that. Like, I've been trying to really just save money, like, lately, because, travel and everything is just expensive. But there's a possibility of a Mexico City trip, which could be pretty rad. So we'll see how that plays out. Name of the game right now is just filming, right? We got to get content out there for the masses. And so, there's a lot of stuff I want to do this weekend that I got to knock out. I've got a great idea for a Halloween video. And then, like I said, we've got a giveaway that we're going to be doing. And I think we're going to announce that on Instagram. So hopefully you guys are all following me over there. You probably are. But we're going to be giving away a bird wheel set, which is like a $2,500 wheel set. So me and M+1, the rules are usually pretty simple when it comes to those big giveaways. But it's just a chance to say thanks to everybody for following and putting up with me for years. And M+1's been a great partner, so it's a good opportunity to get them involved with these things. And we shot a ton of great videos when I was out in Louisville. I still screw it up. And so, we're doing a lot of cool stuff over there, and they're a great partner. So there's going to be a lot of good opportunities for giveaways and things like that. I was talking to Sean. I was like, hey, I think we're ready to do the giveaway in November. And he's like, what if we do one in December too? And I was like, all right, well, so he's like, maybe we just start giving big old giveaways away to people. We'll see how it plays out. So just stay tuned. You could be winning something big. The last giveaway we did was the Eagle Axis, which was like also a big one. That's $1,000-something bucks, right? There it is. David says, Calirado, Seth, single track sampler video at Burn Park would be epic. Make it happen. Thanks for your time. Yeah, you know what it is though? Like, so Seth and single track, like Alex and Seth are good friends. And I'm good friends with Brian BKXC, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm good friends with Alex and Seth. So they might not have the patience for me. We'll see. Like, they are very much in their world of content creation. And, a lot of the long form creators tend to, I'm not saying, I don't know anybody specifically that I'm saying this to. Maybe I'm generalizing, but I don't know if they have a lot of respect for the short form creators. For a long time, long form creators thought, making the short form stuff was like silly and like easy and a waste of time. And then, then I happened. You know what I mean? So now it's like getting back into the long form and just showing up on all angles and just attacking everything from every angle. And just like the greatest quote I was ever, seen. My favorite quote of all time is from Steve Martin. I've said this before. And he says, the quote goes something like this. It's essentially, I got to think of it off the top of my head. He says, be so good, they can't deny you. You know what I mean? Like this, it's unquestionable, right? It's unquestionable that you've earned your place. Be so good that they can't deny you anymore, right? Like, so like that was always my motto. Like, just be so good that nobody can say that I didn't try my hardest. You know what I mean? Like that I don't belong. And so the rest has been history. I think it's a great quote. It's just like, how do you get people's attention? How do you get sponsors' attentions? How do you do all this stuff? Like, you be so damn good, they can't deny you. They can't look away. That's the trick. And I've done it to this day, and I'll keep doing it. God damn it. I'll keep doing it. Yeah, be so good they can't ignore you. Exactly right. It's like there's an easy answer. He's like, people always want the easy answer. Like, how do you make it in Hollywood? Like, do you attend the parties? Do you suggest I like get this agent? Like, he's like, be so good they can't ignore you anymore. And like that's a testament to live by, man. I love that quote, and I'm a big fan of it. And I've been trying ever since. So there you go. Yep, it's a great quote. It's a great quote. Potato Doggo, thanks for jumping in. I appreciate you guys hanging out here on this Friday night. Yeah. So the trip's coming up. We got that going on. I wish I had more stories to tell. It's been a long time since we've done a live stream, but I wanted to say, like, I just warm up the vocal cords. Okay. I'm planning on getting some fireside chats going now that it's getting dark early. I got to line up some guests for that. And really, it's been a wild ride. It's been a wild ride the last couple months. I will be honest with you guys. It's been a crazy ride the last couple months. And it's gone from, just really focusing on the creative side to focusing over the last 4 to 6 months on the business side. And it's been, this is one of the things that keeps me very, very busy now, is like just managing this whole thing versus, where it first started, you're just making funny videos and your goal is just to like entertain. And that's always been the goal. But then it's like everything else now has been taking so much time as well. So it's been a wild ride. But I promise you, 2025, you're going to have more Calirado Kid content than you've ever had. And hopefully you don't unsubscribe after I just said that. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm seeing my numbers go down. Which one of you guys did that? Was that you? Was that Fitmaster? Did you unsubscribe? It certainly wasn't Doggo. Not with a name like Potato Doggo. He's here to stay. I can assure you of this. Oh my God. How's the day job? Going full time? Yeah. There's a possibility. There's a real possibility now. So stay tuned. If the announcement comes, you'll know about it. But nothing's official yet. I think I've been working towards it, and I'm in a good place now with this whole content creation thing, and I believe in it. I think I'm onto something, and I enjoy the hell out of it. So we're getting close, and so you guys will be the first to know. We'll do one big live stream to kick it off, but we'll get there. We'll get there. And then it's just more content, more YouTube videos, more short form stuff, more travel, more trips, more group rides, more all that stuff, more podcast stuff. Like this, just the world will open up to me. But imagine what I've done thus far being limited and restricted with the time, right? Like everything that I've done up until this point has been with a full-time job, with a family, with kids, everything has been done while I've been handcuffed. And imagine if somebody came along with the keys and let me out. What's the Calirado Kid going to do? All right. It's going to be the best there ever was. All right. So that's where we're working on it. That's like, if I should have been a professional wrestler. Like, I feel like I could deliver some pretty good speeches if I was a professional wrestler, but I don't, by the way, how does Microsoft still giving this stupid ass screensaver? Like, how is that the screensaver thing? Like, how do they not update their screensavers in the last 18 years? And I don't know. Look, I know some of you are going to say, look, you don't need screensavers anymore. Modern monitors don't need screensavers. That's not true. This is an OLED. All right. This is a very expensive monitor. And the OLED things, you can't burn them in. All right. It's like plasma back in the day. All right. Sorry. All right. We're good. Fitmaster says, I am subscribed to all 4 of my channels. Wait, of your own channel? You got 4 channels, Fitmaster? Rowan says, I just want to say it's really cool to see your energy when you talk about empty bean. I could tell you're not stressed about this, and it's a creative outlet. How do you manage to go after YouTube channel while balancing full-time job? It's been bonkers. I don't want to sound like I'm sacrifice. Like that sounds pompous, But what I do is I have to cut out a lot of things that I enjoy to like focus on this. Like I have to give up my weekends. I have to get like, I haven't really ridden my bike much because filming has to take priority. So it's like that. There's all these little things. I have to ditch the family on weekends sometimes because I got to lock down these brand deals or whatever else. And I'm hoping that all balances out. The goal has always been to push really hard to get to the point where I could get to have the time, right? But it's been tricky. It's always been tricky. And it's, you know, and one of the things I've talked about in the past is like, I know this is not woe is me stuff. I really enjoy this. I understand the sacrifices that I need to make it work. And so I don't talk about that a lot because it's all fun and games. Like to me, like this is the greatest, like, but you have to do these things and you have to push and you have to. So like for me, it's always stressful because if I don't have a video lined up, like in the back of your head, and every content creator is like this. If you don't have a video lined up, it's like in the back of your head, you're like, I should be working on a video. How come I don't have a video? Like it's hard to like relax. It's hard to relax. So it's always an adventure. I don't know if I answered your question or not, but there it is. Prodit says, you sound like you're going to ditch your NorCal life and family and job and go move to Whistler. No, I like Whistler, but I want to travel more, just all over the place. There's a lot of places I want to hit. People invite me to go different places, and there's definitely more riding in my future. I want to travel a little bit more and hit these, you know, multiple day trips. Go to Oregon. I could go to like, there's a lot of stuff close by to me that I could just hit and do a big, you know, a couple days trip and meet a lot of people and make a bunch of videos. And there's a lot of ideas in my head. There's a lot of cool, like I want to do a whole YouTube series. I got ideas for it. I can't because the time is so restricted. So there's a lot of stuff that I can't do right now, but eventually we'll get there. What's your favorite activity besides MTB? Video games. Like it's a great outlet for me still. I grew up playing games from Nintendo and stuff all the way up. And still to this day, this rig back here, I mean, can you see? Like, that's a beefy ass gaming rig. That is a top of the line gaming rig. So to this day, I'll still jump in and play just something simple at the end of the day, like 9, 10 o'clock. It's usually 10 o'clock. My mind shuts down. Like, there's only so much I could do, and it just shuts down. So that's my time to unwind. And I'll play like Destiny 2, or I'll play Cyberpunk, or I'll play something that I could just kind of like zone into and just chill for a little bit. It's kind of nice. I still enjoy it. I'm here, made it, says FPV. Thanks for jumping in. Good to see you. Rowan says, yeah, pretty much. I know what you're talking about, man. Thinking about next vid idea. Yeah, it's always something. You always got to be contemplating the next thing. And now it's managing business deals and contracts and all this stuff in the background too. It's been a wild ride, man. I'm stoked people are here for it. And like I said, I just want to deliver. I just hope I deliver the goods. And I feel like I've been doing okay on that front. And hopefully nothing slows down. Fortnite. Nah. My son loves Fortnite. We finally let him play it again. He was in trouble for his grades, so he's finally playing Fortnite right now, and he's been playing for hours, and he just like can't stop talking about stupid like V-Bucks and skins. I hate it. To me, the state of current video games is terrible. Like, it's terrible. When we grew up, you bought a game, the game worked. All right. First of all, the game worked when you bought it. Then you would play the game to earn things in the game. Nowadays, everybody's got microtransactions. Everybody's trying to get you to buy the latest skin. And it's just this parasitic economy that I can't stand, dude. I can't stand it. I can't believe it's legal. Like, my kid, every time he asks me for V-Bucks, I'm like, get out of my face. Get out of here. I can't stand it. It's just, go earn it. Like, what the hell, man? Sorry. That's where I'm at with video games these days. I just can't believe it. I can't believe that's where we're at. That being said, like, yeah, Fortnite, like I play it, but the mechanics feel very soft for me. Go play like Destiny 2 or like Battlefield 2042 and tell me the shooting mechanics aren't rock solid compared to Fortnite. Fortnite feels like playing a marshmallow. Okay, that's my old man rant. Got it out of the way. I should start a video game channel. I'm still convinced that if I go full time, I'll start a video game channel too and just have it because I could just rant on video games constantly. I still keep up with it. I do. Rowan says, what CPU, GPU? I've got a 13700K as a chip. I've got 64 gigs of RAM, and I've got an RTX 4090 inside this rig. It's a beast. All right. So it's a beast. Foundy, do you play Destiny 2? Does anybody play? Like, I could honestly use a crew to go do a raid or something. I usually just play by myself these days because I don't want to find like randos anymore. I used to have a clan, but they all fell out of it. So like there's a dungeon I want to do and I can't do it by myself. It's just a pain in the ass. Like, anyways. Potato, you can't go. Potato, this is what happens. Everybody will always say, oh, I'm leaving the live stream. No. You can't leave. All right. And then they'll comment like 20 minutes later. I'm like, I thought you said you had to leave. So we're all going to put Doggo on the spot. Doggo, you got to stick around. We have one big major announcement coming in about 20 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. Yeah. Fitmaster. Yeah, I got 2 kids. Yep. V-Bucks and skins. Back in my day, there was none of that, man. Yeah, it's completely out of control. Out of control. FPV says, shut your Fortnite hate. I know. It's fine. Again, at the end of the day, like, do whatever makes you happy. If it's a fun game for you, you're having a blast. What do I say? I just rant because I can't believe it. I can't believe it. California dude jumps in, says, I met you at Everstoke. California dude, thanks for jumping in. I appreciate you putting up with me and coming into this live stream and saying hi. That's an extra step, isn't it? Like, when it comes to like putting out stuff, it's like the biggest thing people could do and the biggest support you can have is just doing what you guys are doing. Just hanging out. I would never ask anything more. Anything that I ask that's more is like, it's optional, right? Like videos, coming in, commenting on a video, liking a video, stuff like that's more than enough. You've gone out of your way. Like most people won't even do that, right? That's so cool. Then you come into a live stream and hang out and chat. Like that's really cool. That's above and beyond, right? Then when it's like, say I drop merch or whatever, or which I haven't done in a long time, I still have my gloves out for sale, but like, that's optional. Like that's never mandatory. Like you say, oh, if you want to support the channel, you guys are already supporting the channel doing this stuff. Like, but like you guys know that those are like tiers of like, that's so cool when people, I still can't believe people bought my gloves. Like a ton of people bought them. Like that's awesome. Unexpected, above and beyond. And I appreciate the hell of it. So like whenever I say like, oh, there's a trip coming up or this is all optional, I'd love to have you guys there. If I could do like free, like free group rides and stuff and it's in your area, that's cool. But like, you're already doing more than enough. I appreciate you guys hanging out and just supporting it. It's like, that's cool. That's really cool. I dig it. All right. I know those PC specs. I don't screw around, man. If I do something, I do it big time. Like, and that's the case always. Like I have a problem and luckily there's nothing that I want anymore. Like I need to buy stuff for the business, which is like camera gear and stuff, but I kind of have everything. I built it all out. I'll give you guys a tour of the studio one day again and revamp everything, but I'm good. I've got it all. It's a beefy rig. Yeah, game rants. Here's my concept for a video game channel, which I thought would be funny. Okay, if I started a video game channel because the premise would be because I don't have enough time to play the games. What if I reviewed video games based on the trailers and the game had already come out, but I don't have time to play it, so I just review it based on the trailer. And the premise would be like an old grumpy gamer who's like, "Oh, that mechanic's never gonna work," and it's known that it's like everyone's favorite mechanic or something. Like it would be in my head, I have it, but like maybe explaining it's not great. All right. Yeah, pretty overkill, actually. Battlefield probably looks nice. Yeah, it is overkill for everything. I can max everything out. Have you guys seen Cyberpunk 2077 with full-on ray tracing and everything? It's unreal. Yeah, I promise you we're going to talk about mountain bikes again. If you guys are like, here we go. Yeah, Jim says recruiting for raids in the live stream. The problem is I don't even have time to do a raid. Like, that's 2.5 hours, 4 hours of commitment. Like, when would I do that? I can't even, like, it sucks. I would love to do it. I can't even fathom like having 4 hours of spare time to game anymore. Like it would blow my mind if I could do that. But there we are. Yeah. It's late here in Louisville. Way past my bedtime, says Whacker. Hope to see you in Utah. Yeah, buddy. Hope to see you out there, buddy. Rowan says, I think him saying kids' age is a bit stepping up. Oh, it doesn't matter. But like, yeah, they're not too old. They're not too young. It's not a big deal. Franco's like 11 and Flora is something else. She's turned 9. So yeah, they're at a good age right now. I'm catching up on chat. I've got rid of video games to do more out. Yeah, that's it. Like I play kind of at the end of it's like 10 o'clock at night. I might play a round of something, but it's certainly not like gaming all day. Despite the fact that I'd love to just get like a 6-pack and like play games on the couch all day, I can't even do that because like the kids took over my I bought a nice OLED TV. I got an Xbox Series X. I got a PS5. I don't even touch them. I can't. But I got this. I got my own studio. What can you say? We've got on a tangent, haven't we? We've got on a grand tangent. Yeah, I know. Proteoids. So he says, like, I remember how the gloves were limited. I thought they were. Oh, Jesus. No, I'm not answering that phone call. You can't talk to the Calirado Kid while he's on a live stream. Look, so when we first did the gloves, I was talking to Nick, and I was like, yeah, okay, let's do a limited run. Well, he didn't tell me we sold out, and he ordered more. So I thought we were just doing a run of that's it and go. But he kept ordering them. So yeah, they've just been running for a while. I haven't mentioned it in a while. But there's a possibility I'm working on a new merch line. It's just been a long time, and I just don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. That's like one of my least favorite things to do is design stuff. So I'd rather just make videos. And so eventually, like, I need to just make stuff because I've got some funny ideas, but I just haven't had a chance to spec it out and stuff. So there you go. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Wait a minute. I'm catching up. Came up on your videos because I've been wanting to get into mountain biking. So new to your channel. It seems cool so far. I appreciate you, Tente. Thanks for jumping in. 530. That's a Woodland? You in Woodland? Is that an area code? Anyways, yeah, you might regret following this channel. It's a lot of hijinks. It's a lot of nonsense. But at the end of the day, no one does it better. Okay. And no one's better looking. Those may be debatable. Both of those points may be debatable. But I appreciate you jumping into the live stream. It's the most random live stream I've ever done. I usually plan these out. I usually announce them ahead of time. I get people involved. I just jumped in tonight and said hi. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. Sorry, how often do you floss? Wait a minute. Wait, are you talking about the dance or are you talking about actually flossing your teeth? Who's hiding behind you? Nobody. Usually it's Kyle. For fork would travel 160 or more, but under 180, do you like coil or air? Like we had that discussion earlier tonight, Nature, and it's like, that's one thing I haven't done. I actually haven't ridden a coil. I've only ridden air, so I don't actually know. One of these days I'll try it out. Aren't you a bit too old to play video games? Yeah. No, come on. Are you kidding me? It's my generation that laid the groundwork for all these youngsters, all right? So watch it. There would be nothing without us. Like we're the ones who played Nintendo, the NES. Like gaming was dying when the Atari, you guys don't know this, in the 80s, Atari almost killed the gaming industry and it came back from the brink. Nintendo helped bring it back with the NES, which was, and then you had the Super NES, which is the Super Famicom in Japan. And look, the bottom line is we laid the groundwork for all these knuckleheads to play these stupid free-to-play games and buy their V-Bucks today, okay? It couldn't have been without us. There it is. Yeah, there it is. All right, let's see. FBB says you just got back from Granite Bay ride. I didn't see any sharks. Good call. Yeah, there are sharks out there, I can assure you. One day I'm just going to run around there in my shark outfit. I know, yeah, Nature Slay, it's all good, man. Thanks for jumping in. I appreciate you. What's a good starter bike? I don't know. Like I'm the worst when it comes to that. Like I always say, like go to a bike shop and find like a good affordable hardtail. Like affordable is debatable, of course, $800 to $1,000 or whatever, right? Like I think still buying a bike with decent components is a good call. So it's not a miserable experience, but also finding the right frame size is important. So you're not riding a bike that's too big or too small for you. I don't know. A lot of people recommend buying used for their first bike. I don't know that I'd recommend that because what if the person didn't maintain it and you don't know any better and it comes in and you're like, something's wrong, but you don't know what's wrong. Like, I don't know if that's worth dealing with. Those are just my thoughts on the situation. But of course you're going to find good deals. I just always worry that like if somebody didn't maintain it or did something wrong on the bike, you wouldn't know any better. Like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't know what I was doing when I bought my first bike. So I'm just thinking like for best experience possible, if you get something that's well taken care of or like already brand new that you hopefully is not crap out of the gate. That's just my thought. Or yeah, you just go crazy and you buy the most expensive bike you can. Like, by the way, I have an affiliate link. If you want, a brand new Pivot Shuttle SL or LT or whatever, that's, it's only 13 grand, whatever it is. I don't know. Like, I'll help you out. Don't worry. I got you. Side note, I mentioned this before. If you guys are looking for bikes, whether it's cool because M+1 stocks. All right. They stock Ibis, they stock Yeti, they stock now Santa Cruz, and they stock Pivot. So like top 4, like amazing brands. They gave me a 10% discount code across the board. So I already can get basically 10% on anything for you guys. And then also like some sales are going on with 25% off on bikes. So if you look at the site, if you ever are in the market, you can always look and just shoot me a DM on IG. If I can get something for you at a discount, I'll try. Like that's kind of the benefit of this partnership too, is being able to take care of people, but no pressure. Anyways, it's just saying like, if you're in the market already, then you can shoot me a DM. If I can help you out, I'll help you out if I can. Anyways, let's see. Jim says, if buying used, buy as simple as possible, aka Surly Krampus or Karate Monkey. That's not a real thing. No shocks, basic drivetrain, cheap to replace. Is there a bike called a Karate Monkey? Is that true, Jim? If so, I feel like I should have one. Anyways. Oh my God. Yep. What's the worst crash you've ever had? I have been lucky. My crashes have been pretty tame. Like I think the worst one is just like the road rash that I got here. But in terms of like physical ailments, I've never broken anything, and I've been lucky. Missile Command. Sorry for my bad spelling. Yeah, Missile Command. Heck yeah. What about brands? Like what would be the top 5 for bike brands? Oh, that's so hard. There's no way I can answer that. It's so hard. Like I haven't ridden everything. I am certainly not the guy when it comes to bike tech knowledge. I'm the funny guy. And so when I did the video on the Ibis Ripley, I was like, look, nobody wants to come to the comedy guy for bike info anyways. But I've had an epiphany. I suspect there's very few creators out there doing informational stuff in a funny way. And so I'm starting to integrate the comedy into presenting material. And I think there's a niche and I think there's a market for it. So when it comes to long form videos, I think I'll be doing a lot more of that stuff. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I think there's going to be a space for me to, learn more along the way too. My brother almost bought a karate monkey. You guys are making this stuff up. All right, I'll find it. I'll check them out. Anyways, we are about an hour and a half into this live stream. Look, I told you that's why the title of this video is Nobody Does It Better, because who do you know can jump into a live stream for an hour and a half and not skip a beat? Don't take a drink of water. I don't need it. Okay. The bottom line is I could talk your ear off for 14 hours straight and nobody would know the difference. But I'm not going to do that tonight. I just wanted to jump in for a little bit, and that means an hour and a half. So I promise more live streams. I want to get some, it turns out there's a big creator moving into the area soon, and we will be doing a fireside chat, and there's going to be some others. I want to get Kyle on a fireside chat. We're going to be doing some fun stuff. I promise. November's coming up. My birthday's in November, which means probably we're going to organize an event, maybe a little group ride, brewery thing. I don't know yet. Okay. But I want to do something fun. So that'll happen late November, hopefully. And we've got the group ride coming up in Hurricane, Utah. That's going to be the 28th to the 31st, the trip with Chasing Epic. If you want to get involved with that, I'll put information on my website, which is caliradokid.com. We have an events tab, I think, somewhere, so we can find it there. I put a post on IG today if you want to go that route. And we will be doing a big giveaway on IG soon, which is the bird wheel set. So there's a couple moving parts things that are happening on the Calirado page. And other than that, we're just normal operation, just making funny stuff and running into everybody on the trail and saying hi. And that's what we do. All right, there we go. I think we're going to call it. I appreciate you guys. Please do a 14-hour live stream. Can I tell you guys my dream? And while we're here, before we close this out, can I tell you my dream that I've had for years? And I've never pulled it off because every year I look at it and I'm like, that's a lot of work. But you know what? I'm going to tell you again. I've always had the dream of doing like a Christmas variety show with all the mountain bike creators I can get. Like, you guys know what a variety show is, where I would cut like a full on live stream. Then we're doing like giveaways during the live stream, like doing nonstop giveaways, like giving presents away. Right. Then we're doing like, I get the content creators to pre-record stuff or jump in live and like do a bit, whether it's reading a Christmas story that we've made into like a mountain bike Christmas story, or like singing songs, or like just, I know it's stupid. I know, but what is the point if not to be stupid? And I think maybe one year I'll pull this off. I don't know if it's this year because there's a lot of moving parts to it that require a lot of attention. Because I want to get, I just think it'd be funny as hell. I think it'd be so good. Like imagine a 2-hour Christmas live stream where we got a fire going, where we're having people come in live. We're having people jump in like physically live, then virtually live, then pre-recorded segments from all over the globe. Like, I think it'd just be funny as hell. That's just a thought. It's just a dream. It's just a dream right now. It's not a reality, but I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be so fun. Just imagine like Seabass coming in as like Santa Claus, and like Jess the Maker coming in as like an elf. Like we could lock I'll get Brian, BKXC, we'll get him involved. Like everybody. Mountain Bike Jesus will come in. Like I'll get Alex to dress up as Mountain Bike Jesus one way or another. I don't know how much I got to pay him, but I'll make it happen. These are just the dreams. Okay. And being an international superstar means I can make these things happen. All right. I'll get sponsors involved. We'll give away a ton of free stuff. It could be the greatest mountain bike live stream ever. Okay. And Red Bull Rampage will take a second place to the Calirado Kids. Wait, hold on. We got to come up with a catchy name. Calirado Kids Christmas Extravaganza. Wait, the Calirado Kids Mountain Bike Christmas Extravaganza. Something like that. We're going to figure it out. I'll lock it in. I'll let you know if I ever make it happen. Oh my God. That's right. Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, like, it'd be funny as hell. I think it'd be so fun. Calirado, how often do you replace your bike helmet? As soon as the company sends them to me. It's a stupid suit. Not as often as I should. I've been rocking this helmet. God, it's just loaded down with gear because I was out filming stuff. There's the Ace Pro 2. I had this camera in secret for a while. I couldn't talk about it, but I got the night light on it. By the way, if you guys don't have night riding lights, the Outbound stuff is the best. It's so awesome. they'll last for hours on the trail. But anyways, right now I've got this. I've got a Giro helmet, and I've also got I got a couple Giro helmets that one of them I custom painted, but I should get a new one soon. I'd love to get a helmet sponsor, actually. The helmets are always in the videos, but one of these days. All right, anyways. Have the Christmas extravaganza at Everstoke. No, I need good internet connection. It's got to be at my house because there'd be too many moving parts. I got to have solid internet. One thing I don't want is variables. Like, I don't want something that could go wrong to go wrong. I want everything as buttoned up as possible. Remember that I'm a tech guy. Like, my job as a broadcast engineer is like building podcast studios and radio stations and stuff. So to me, like, you got to have it. You got to have it dialed. Like, I'll do test runs. This is the difference between me and others. Like, I'll do test runs to make sure everything's work. I'll do network tests. I'll make sure that when I go live, things are working. That's important to me some of the time, most of the time. Oh my God. What's a good kid? What's a good age to introduce my kid to mountain biking? Any opinion? Anytime you can. Get him on a steady bike, or what do you call those things? And then they'll be good at 5. They'll be hitting jumps. Like, trust me, any age is good. Any age is good. Do you notice the weight of the light on the helmet? No, not really. Not at all. Like, and so it's like great. It's usually mostly centered. And then you have the handlebar mount. So the Evo light is the handlebar mount. And it's like, dude, it's so cool doing night rides. If you haven't done a night ride, it's super fun. It's very unique. And it's a great way when it sets at 5 o'clock, you're out on the trails, just having another adventure. And there's less people on the trails. There's more animals out. Like, I love like just the deer jumping across the trail and like the owls and all this stuff there's things out there that go bump in the night, and you could bump back with your full suspension bike. Is that like that should be on a t-shirt, right? Or no? Okay. All right. Balance bike. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. But I do like the idea of doing I do like the idea of doing an event at Everstoke next year. That'd be super fun. Just invite everybody out, take care of your campsites, come hang out. We'll go to the brewery afterwards. We'll just have a big party. I think it'd be sick. I think it would be sick. But like I said, the first event, we got to worry about if like this thing that I have like 12 to 15 spots available for the Utah trip. If that doesn't sell out, I'm not doing any more events. I don't want to play around with it anymore. It's a waste of time. I suspect it will, but it's like, if nobody shows up, I'm like, I'll just keep making videos instead. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to give opportunities and stuff, but I'm like, oh crap. Well, it should work. Everything should be fine. Everything should be fine. But, you know, the priority is like number one is still just entertaining. So it's like the videos have to come, like, to me, that's the number one always, making funny stuff and keeping it rolling. Like, I want to make sure it's a good experience for everybody. And I know there's people all over the world that watch the channel and stuff too. So it's like, I'd love to do like international trips too and just open it up to group rides and say like, hey, we're coming. But yeah, there's only so much I can do. Like the Australia, New Zealand thing, there's a lot of people that I talk to. It's like, dude, that'd be super fun. Super fun. It's all fun and games till the bears come out. Yeah, that's how you get to be a better rider. Okay, Danny, I don't know how you train, but I strap a T-bone to my back and I just go as fast as I can. And if I can make it, if I escape from the bear, then you know my Strava times are good. That's my philosophy. I don't know how you guys approach the situation, but that's how you're going to get the job done. Okay. Rowan says, I'll be done my college by next biking season. Hopefully more rides next season. Yeah, that's always how it goes. It's always time management. Really, it's just prioritizing time. I certainly don't like being in an office all week, especially when it finally got to be nice outside. So it's always balancing stuff. Night Ride at Granite Bay outbound can sponsor it and give a helmet light. They gave me a bunch of lights because I've been working with them on producing ads for them in the background. There's a couple that you guys haven't seen yet. They put in Facebook and IG rotation. There's one that's just a banger. It's absolutely gold, but they haven't put it in ad rotation yet, but it's like so good. I'm so stoked on it. So yeah, it would totally work. Nature Slayer says, you're handsome in a creepy 70s. Does that smell like chlorophyll? What are you trying to say? Oh, damn it. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. Gorgeous is the best way to describe it. I need to start training that way. That's right. I can't believe I haven't tried that before. Yeah, it is the best. It's the best. And if you don't have bears in your area, maybe you got moose. Maybe you just strap like, I don't know what moose eat, but berries. Give it a shot. That'll also work. It's just maybe berries and meat. Just cover all your bases and you just don't know, or go to the ocean and swim with the sharks. That's it's not bike related, but I can assure you it's similar. All right, look, bottom line is, like I said, we could go all night long. It's an hour and 40 minutes in. We're just getting warmed up, but I'm going to call it. I'm going to get some other stuff done. It is 8 o'clock, and I got to tell my kid to quit watching TV and do something productive. All right. Meanwhile, I'm going to go edit something else. I got two more things I got to do, so we're going to get that done. And then we're going to move on to the next thing and hopefully shoot some stuff tomorrow, get some writing in this weekend. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I appreciate you guys all jumping in and hanging out. Let's do more live streams soon, and maybe we'll get some guests lined up and do all that stuff. But at the end of the day, just wanted to jump in. Say hi. Say I'm not done with live streams by any stretch of the imagination. We're going to be doing more. And there you go. Appreciate you guys hanging out. We'll see you on the next one, huh? Ciao. See you on the next one? Okay. All right. Well, adios. God damn it. I just got to jump in real quick and say thanks for sticking around. Also, like, still to this day, I've achieved a lot in the mountain bike world and the content creator world, and that outro and intro is still one of my prized possessions. That's still, to me, one of my favorite things that I've ever created, and I don't know if I have the save files to where I can adjust it. Like, it may have been too far gone. I wish I could describe to you how long producing that took. I had to go in the garage, and I've told the story before, but some of you guys are new. I had to go in the garage to the green screen and do just faces for like 5 minutes because I didn't know how long I was going to make the intro. Like, so I had to just go like this. Like, my wife must have opened the door and be like, "What are you doing?" You know, like she often does this. And I don't blame her. She's like, "What are you doing?" It's more commonplace now. All right, it's more commonplace now, but back then it was not. And so she was just like, "What the hell is going on?" Still, I appreciate it. Yeah, I keyframed all the floating head stuff by myself. Like, I did all the stuff on the green screen. I green screened it, and then I went and keyframed every little thing. And there's probably an easier way to do that, but I didn't know how to do it. So I spent a long time making that, and I still like it. That's all.